Hey guys, I just wanted to record a quick video for those who are flying on your own to Edinburgh. Just a couple of ideas of how to get to the hostel. And then, of course, once you get there, getting back to the airport is actually quite easy. So let me switch to the PowerPoint itself, and then I'll run over it real quick. It's not very complicated at all. And if there's any images in here, I have a couple of maps in here if you want me to email you like those maps so you can have it on your phone, because obviously you can't watch a video while you're walking down the street, just let me know. But again, most of this is pretty self-explanatory. So again, so I think all of you, now I know there's one that's flying into London, and I think you're taking the train up. This will still relate to you a little bit too. So I'll try to mention that at the end. But most of you, I think, are flying into Edinburgh at some point, and you need to make yourselves to the hostel. So you really have three options. There's a tram that was built like 10 years ago. It was like this huge controversial project they did, but it actually is quite handy, that runs between the center of town and the airport. There's, of course, a bus. It's called Airlink that runs between the airport and, again, the center of town. And then the taxis, I personally think, even though they're a little more expensive for one person, if you're traveling with more than one, they're definitely it, because you split it up. But for one person, they are a little bit more, but it's door to door. You don't have to worry about walking. You don't have to worry about figuring out where you are. They take you right to it. And again, they load your luggage, unload it, so much better. Anyway, let me go through each option and talk about them. So first one, the tram. So again, like I said, they built the trams about 10 years ago. It's very controversial because they do run right through town. But they're actually so convenient. And if you're staying for a long time in Edinburgh, they're actually kind of convenient, even from going from place to place. We won't use them in our program so much, but they are kind of useful to have. And this is actually the stop you would stop at. This is actually St. Andrew's stop here. So again, they're really built to run from the airport, but they do have other stops. And they, as you'll see when we're there, they're expanding it even further out. Eventually, there will be a stop right at the hostel, but that doesn't help us this year. So again, they runs from the airport all the way into what's known as Newtown, which is where we're staying. That's St. Andrew's Square. And that, so basically you would ride it to the end. You don't have to worry about it. Just when you get to the end, you get off. So as far as the price, if you're just going one way, like if you're going back with the group or something, it's £6.50. So I think with the exchange rate right now, it's probably about $9. You can use credit card. There's a little machine there you can just use. There's no one on it. I mean, there's a driver, but there's no one to talk to. So you literally just go to the machine, put your card in, and get your ticket, or you can pre-order it online and go ahead. I think the only thing about doing it right there at the machine, you have to get on within 30 minutes. I think the ticket does expire. If you're going to know you're going to come back the same way, they're what we call it round trip. They call it return. It's £9. So if you're not sure, just go ahead and just get one. But I mean, again, £3 versus £12, but still. So again, the stop you're going to want to stop at from the airport is St. Andrew's Square. I just ran it for Sunday. I mean, I just kind of randomly just clicked in for Sunday, like if you were doing it at noon, but they were all the same time. It runs about 30 minutes. They run every so often, about, I think every 30 minutes they run. But again, it's about a 30-minute journey till the end. So it's actually kind of a nice, pleasant ride in. Just again, another quick map. Again, you want St. Andrew's Square is where you want to stop. There used to be another stop just another block or two further up, but because they're expanding it, that particular stop, they're working on it right now. So right now it goes, but again, it's not very far to the Edinburgh Central Hostel. So again, this is another image of the stop you'll be stopping at, and then when you get off, it's according to the online, it's about 14 minutes. That feels about right. I mean, yes, you'll be dragging your bag with you, but that feels about right. With British websites and guidebooks, you do have to be careful. Sometimes what they call a quick 10-minute walk for us would be more like 30 minutes, but 14 minutes is about right. I think that's accurate. So again, I know this kind of doesn't mean anything to you because you're not there, but where the arrow is, that's where the stop is. And you would just keep walking straight up to York Place. You would take a right all the way to what's known as Leith Walk. and then you would take a left on that. And right here would be the Edinburgh Central Hostel. I have another image here, again, shown kind of like you get off at the stop, get off at, take a right at York Place, and then a left on Leith Walk, and then you get to the Edinburgh Central Hostel. And a slightly more, kind of zooming in just a tiny little bit. Again, you can see Edinburgh Central Hostel. If you need me to send these 3 images, I can. Like I said, this is maybe not why this is my number 1 choice, because there is a little bit of a walk, and if you haven't been there before, you could get mixed up. So where you would get the tram at the airport is not very big. So, again, the airport terminal, this is the building. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, but where the yellow box is, that's actually where the passport stuff is. And then you go down a little further and you get your luggage. And then there's just a couple of doors right up front here. You come out, and for the trams, you would go to your left where it says, I think it's this, excuse me, it's the 3, isn't it? Nope. It's not listed on here, but anyway, it's where the 6 and 3 is. That is where the tram is. I just don't have it on this map. Oops. So you would just, there's signs everywhere. So you just follow the signs for the tram, and the tram is over to the left there. That's all. You'll see this map again in a moment. So the second option is the bus. They call it Airlink. So this is the one that you would want. There's a couple of airport buses, but Airlink is the one you want. It's the Service 100. They have different versions of it, but they're all the same. And again, it'll take you all the way into town. It used to take you to Waverly, but actually now they've changed it recently. It's been 3 years that I've done this, so I'm glad I looked it up. They take it to St. Andrew's Square, exactly the same place as the tram. So again, every 10 minutes they run during the day. If you're doing it at night, it's every 30 minutes. Again, it's about a 30-minute drive. Cool about this is the double decker, so you can go up to the top. If they have a little thing you put your luggage on, then you can walk up to the top and sit up there. It is a great view. It's a little hot sometimes. They don't have air conditioning. You'll learn they don't have air conditioning anywhere over there, so it's a little hot sometimes, but it's nice. Again, the appeal of this one's a little bit cheaper. Now, I will say the trams are cheaper than they used to be. They used to run 8 to 9 one way. Now they're running 6. This one's still a little bit cheaper, $4.50 one way. If you want a round trip, they call it return. Again, it's $7.50. So again, it's a little bit cheaper. And I didn't say this earlier, when it says open return, that just means you can use it at any time. You don't have to use it the next day, or it's just whenever you're ready to come back, you're ready to go. When it's just me, I usually use the bus. I've used all of them, but I usually use the bus because it is a little bit cheaper. But again, you would use the same directions. Like I said, you would take Service 100. And again, it stops at St. Andrew's Square, exactly the same place as the tram. You would pick this up. I should have remembered this. Oh, stop A. So again, you come out of the main building, go to your left. Again, there'll be signs for it everywhere. You can buy the ticket right on the bus. You do need cash for that. And there's usually a little stand, like a little cashier stand. You can use your credit card to pay. Again, you can get a one-way ticket or a round trip ticket, doesn't matter. And again, the same directions. You would land at St. Andrew's Square, go to York Place, go to your right, and then when you hit Leith Walk, the main road, you would go to your left and walk down to Edinburgh Central Hospital. It's exactly the same directions for both. So really, the difference between the tram and the bus, because now that they stop at the same place, that's new. Probably between those two, I would probably go with the bus because it is cheaper. Since they stop at exactly the same place. The one I prefer, just because for new timers, it is easiest. The downside is, again, an airport ride, again, about 30 minutes, would run between 20 and 30 pounds. So it is, significantly more. That's not a huge price, but it is significantly more, obviously. 3 or 4 times more there. But it's door to door. You don't have to try to then figure out where to go. That's why I prefer this for first timers. And you get to ride in these cool British cabs. Although they don't all look like this, but these are I would have one of these to drive around in if I could. But there is a taxi stand. So when you come out the main building, I'll show you on the map again, but you go across the street and you'll follow the signs. And literally it's just a stand of taxis. And there's usually somebody kind of directing you. Essentially, the rule is you go to the one in the front. You don't pick one. You just go to the next front one. And there are people there going, how many? One? Okay, here's your taxi. How many you got? Two? Okay, here's your taxi. And when you get in, just say Edinburgh Central Hospital and Leith Walk. You should have the address too in your hand, but you don't even need that. And all right, and off you go. And they'll probably talk to you the whole time, and you might understand what they say. And if you have the interview questionnaire, you can interview them while you're riding. But anyway, and some of the taxis, especially if you got more than one person, sometimes I used to rent taxis for students, and we'd get these bigger taxis like this. Again, taxis are really easy. Again, the downside is that they are a little more expensive. Again, depending on traffic, it can be anywhere from 25 minutes to 40 minutes. So really about the same distance. Again, the great thing about taxis is they load your luggage for you. They right from the airport right to the hostel. They'll even offload your luggage for you. You don't have to tip. I usually do. So if it's 23 pounds, I'll give them 25 pounds. If it's 27 pounds, I give them 30 and say keep the change. And that's it. So those are your options. And like I said, if you need me to email you any of those images, let me know. But that's it. All right. I'll talk to you. Oops. Got to stop sharing first, don't I? Okay. I'll talk to you guys later.